What you really get with Kognity and what you've always had is the assurance of a 100% IB aligned curriculum resource, but also that you know is designed for a digital native student.
Welcome to IB Matters, a podcast for those interested in learning more about IB education. We interview teachers, students, and educational leaders around the world to learn how the International Baccalaureate Framework of Education has improved their practice and how you can use it to improve education in your school. Hi folks, welcome back to IB Matters, and this is another of our quickcasts leading up to the IB Global Conference in New Orleans in 2025. And today I have some folks that represent a company I've been engaged with for a long time, Kognity Education. And here in Minnesota, we have a really big following for Kognity. A lot of our schools have taken this up, and I wanted to be sure that they got onto this group of quickcasts because I really enjoy their product. I also enjoy talking to the people, and we have a couple representatives with us today. So I'm going to ask the two of you to introduce yourselves, and then one of you, or maybe both of you together, tell us a little bit about what Kognity does.
Yeah, great to speak with you, John. My name is Chris Barres. I'm head of international sales and school partnerships at Kognity. Been with the company for 7 years now. Very fortunate to travel the world and meet lots of fantastic people. And my job is basically to support my guys in bringing Kognity to schools all around the world.
Great.
Hi, John. I'm Sian. I work with Chris as one of the senior account executives on the IB diploma team at Kognity. So we pretty much look after schools throughout the whole cycle. So right from when they first hear about us and learning more about how we can help them, both their teachers and their students, all the way through to setting them up on a success plan and getting them onboarded to Kognity.
Oh, thanks for introducing yourselves. Yeah, so I first came across Kognity in 2019, and at that time, relatively small company, based in Sweden, and they have really grown in the last 6-7 years. And so, tell us a little bit about what makes them so successful, or what they're doing.
Yeah, so I can take that one. As you've kind of already alluded to there, John, Kognity has been around longer than most. We are a little bit of a veteran in the IB space, or as I like to say, one of the OGs. And we still today really remain the original and the only digital first interactive curriculum for the IB diploma. So we are designed specifically for both students and for teachers. And we're actually the IB's only digital first publishing partner, which is a partnership we launched several years ago and one we're incredibly proud of. What that really means for schools, what you really get with Kognity and what you've always had is the assurance of a 100% IB aligned curriculum resource, which you have assurance of quality and academic rigor because of that IB partnership, but also that you know is designed for a digital native student. And that's really kind of at the core of what we've always done with Kognity. We were actually founded 10 years ago. This is our 10-year anniversary, which we're celebrating at the conference. And we were founded by former IBDP students who kind of had the seed of the idea of Kognity as their CAS project a few years prior to that, very much with the goal of finding out how can we find a resource that rethinks the way we approach teaching and learning in the IB diploma, something that help students take more ownership of their learning, recognizing that independent study is so critical to getting results that you deserve in the IB. But also, how do we help teachers deliver what is a very content-heavy curriculum and rigorous curriculum more effectively and more efficiently and with confidence? And that really sits at the heart of what Kognity does. So we are a full curriculum foundation, which is going to encompass your content, it's going to encompass your assessment, and it's also going to encompass that all-important learning data. So giving schools, both administrators and teachers, the ability to actually track what is going on in their program, how are students learning, how are they progressing, and really using that to drive differentiation, using that to really improve student outcomes as well. And yeah, in the last 10 years, we're really proud that we've been able to support a lot of schools, as you mentioned, quite a big following in Minnesota, and actually 1 in 3 DP schools globally now. And we plan to continue to increase that as we grow kind of our scope and our ability to support schools and districts at scale as well. So yeah, I'd say that's kind of a bit of a headline on what we do.
Well, that's great. And that's the thing, you made the point yourself when you say digital first. That means there isn't any kind of hardcover textbook type thing that's ever been published by Kognity. That's a great way to keep up to date. I think in Minnesota, as people have done the balancing act of choosing Kognity versus other options, including hard cover books, is to think about the fact that it's so able to adapt to the current situation, to changes, to updates from IB, updates in the world, and so essentially you have a live resource, and then when you add the layer on all the things that teachers have as tools that are connected to it. It's been an easy decision for most of the people here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think, like you say, that's really the nail on the head is the fact that it's live, it's iterative. We are always updating. We know how much work it is for coordinators to keep on top of IB curriculum updates, but also, we know that there's always growing and evolving needs of what educators are looking for, and we're
Yeah.
able to make those updates in real time, which I think is something that you can't always have that confidence of, in different tools. So we're really proud of that.
So, as a global sponsor, IB does provide you a slot for a presentation. What is the presentation that Cognity has on tap for us all?
Yeah, so our presentation this year, which is taking place on Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the St. Charles and Lafayette room, is called Digital Dilemma. What do we really want from digital resources? And of course, we're hosting it, and one of our colleagues, Sam Van Buren, will be the one leading the session, doing introductions and so on. But we have a special guest speaker in Corinne Petrelli, who is an IB coordinator at Westbury High School in New York. Corinne's been using Cognity now for just over a year, I think, as the school is relatively new to the DP. Corinne's going to explore the promise and pitfalls of digital learning in today's classrooms. She'll invite educators to reflect on their digital choices and rethink how technology can truly empower teaching and learning, whether that be looking at screen time, AI. She'll be challenging educators to seek balance and equity and purpose in an increasingly connected world, but one that education is still quite a bit behind off in compared to other industries.
Well, that's great. Yeah, and so the St. Charles Lafayette room, 2 o'clock on Wednesday. That is the 16th, I believe, of July, right?
That is,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, great. And those of you listening that are attending, you certainly can find that in the app. The way that IB has set up the app for the event, you can just go in and actually, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, I believe now, at least my experience recently at IB conferences, is that you kind of need to put your reservation in because they have they fill the room and then they don't let people in. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct. The last few years we've had people queuing out the door, and unfortunately some people turned away. So please do get your
Yeah.
reservation in ASAP.
Yeah, they encourage you to use the app. So if you're listening and you're attending, please do that. And the reality, though, is that people listening to us, most of them won't be there in New Orleans. And so I want to make sure that you guys kind of let people know how they can get more information about Cognity if they're not in New Orleans.
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is a really rich resource of a lot of not just Cognity specific information, but a lot of IB PD as well. So if you go to our website, we will have testimonials, we'll have case studies, but also you can request a demo with one of the account executives, perhaps could be myself. And then what we would do is we would have
Mhm.
a bit of a conversation with you to learn more about what your needs are, any challenges that have been coming up in your program, and actually address how Cognity might be able to help them, whether it be through a kind of free pilot period, or other options that we can explore.
Okay, good. And so then you do have a booth, of course, and you'll have Are you two attending, both of you, or
We are.
Yes, we'll both be
great?
there.
Great. Well, I look forward to meeting you in person then. And then Sam, of course, you just mentioned is going to be attending, and I've known Sam for a few years now. He's great. What are you going to be talking about at the booth? You have any handouts or any kind of resources that people can take away with them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's fair to say that Cognity, obviously we're biased, but we do believe we always have the best booth in the conference exhibit hall. We are,
It's a good booth.
it's a good booth. It's a good booth. So we are very well known.
Definitely in my top
Oh,
three, top
oh,
three
now
for
I'm curious
sure.
who the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
two are, but let's not give them promotion.
Well, of course, one of them has to be IB.
Okay, fine. Yeah, they
The
don't
IB
count. They
one.
don't
Yeah,
count.
yeah.
Yeah, good, good. But no, so we are very well known for our stickers. We love a pun, so please do swing by and collect as many of those as you wish. We have, let's just say, some single socks available that you can swing by and pick up, and then we will be giving the pair of the sock at a secret location, which we will share later. But in terms of, the real business stuff, you can expect to come over, have a really informal and fun demo of Kognity and have a conversation with one of the team members who would be the member that would be supporting you if you were to consider piloting or moving forward with Kognity. And of course, we will have a lot of handouts and kind of, flyers available that you can take if you don't have time to have a demo when you're at the booth.
Is there anything else that you want to let people know about this upcoming thing at the IB Global Conference, or anything else that you want to share real quickly about Kognity before we go?
There is one more thing, so I'm glad you said that. As I mentioned earlier, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary. And to celebrate that, we are hosting a little happy hour. That will be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. right next door to the venue at a bar called Sneaky Pete's. So we have food and an open bar available. So please do swing by and celebrate with us, whether you're a partner school or whether you're just a friend or you want to learn more about Kognity. Everyone is welcome. And perhaps we will share with you the RSVP link that you can put in the notes should anyone want to kind of register.
Yeah, and as always for our listeners, check the show notes because any links that we're providing that we're hearing about are going to be there, and you can learn more about Kognity and other things that are going on. Well, thanks to both of you for this quick introduction to what's going on at NOLA, and I look forward to meeting you both. And again, thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, John.
You can learn more about Kognity on the web at kognity.com and by using the links in the show notes. They also have a free interactive trial online. Again, Kognity will have a booth in the vendors area and will be presenting Wednesday, July 16th at 2 o'clock in the St. Charles and Lafayette rooms. I myself will be at the IB Global Conference in New Orleans that week from July 14th through the 17th. Stop me and say hi if you listen and grab a sticker or button from me. I'll also have my remote recording equipment, and I'll be trying to capture some of the energy of the conference as I visit with people. Thanks again for listening.